Hey everyone, welcome back to more Flesh and Bad, and today we're going to be doing some more Zen games. This is the updated kind of super list that I've been keeping since the dawn of Zen as we know it. So this is a list I've been kind of updating as we go, and now I finally kind of merged in these new changes. So for the time being, I'm going to be trying out kind of two growls in place of the brewing slot. I've heard a lot of good things about these, so I want to give them a good playtest today. I think I tried to play them last recording session, but they never really came up, so I want to give them another shot today. Still kind of on a similar package in the main board. Again, not really a huge amount of changes here. We're on how many combo cards? We're on 32 combo cards, so above average. I think that's mostly getting padded by some of these kind of blues here, so like Pounce and Keep, Winds of Eternity. And then let's talk sideboard. So sideboard is also largely the same. Bringing in some Flick Flax and Sync Blows for new, Wax On and Snag also for new. So a lot of these cards, like I think 10 of our sideboard slots here are just dedicated to kind of showing up the new matchup. Warmonger is also quite good. Flick Flack is also just like generically good into a lot of different things. So maybe it's more like 5 cards to show up the new matchup. Or if you maybe if you count the Cosmics, it's like 7. We're also bringing in 2 Weakest Link because I found against Enigma, they tend to have a lot of just phantasm effects like Phantasmaclasm, Spears of Surreality. That's the card. So having 2 extra poppers against Illusionist is kind of good. And then still in the Warmongers, nothing new here. There's also kind of a consideration to like bringing a little bit of AB in the board, but I'm not still sure how high Kano representation is going to be. It's definitely something to consider. Like maybe you trim on like Cosmic Wax On to like throw in like 2 AB or 3 AB or something like that. But yeah, I don't still think it's super necessary. But we'll see how many Kanos we pair in today. Maybe it'll change my mind. But yeah, this is kind of the core list that I'm going to be using going forward. Again, I might make some like spice edits somewhere in the sideboard, but I think Zen is largely figured out. I think it's just the last couple of cards that people are having a couple like differences of opinion there. I definitely want to try out Growl. I also originally had like Maul, like a one-up Maul, just deal with Enigma, but I don't know. I don't know. It seems a little spicy for me. But we might throw that in at some point. Well, anyways, let's go ahead and get into the games. All right, so for our new sideboard, let me take a look at what I've got. So boarding out levels, I do think we want to Wax On 100 Winds. I think there's also like some debate between 100 Winds and Biting Breeze. I can kind of see the argument for both. Let's cut maybe our Bitings this time and see how that works. And then do we need Weakest Links? I don't know if we need Growls. Maybe running 64 like this is fine. Yeah, let's try it like this and see how it goes. And against new, I think it's okay to fat deck a little bit. Like I think if you're at like 60 or 63 cards, like anywhere between there is probably fine. I'm at 64. But I think the important cards that you want to cut against new are like levels and then some of your blues. So whether that be Biting Breeze so it doesn't synergize with Wind Chakra, or 100 Wind so it doesn't synergize with like your harmonies. I'm not actually sure which is better. I've seen kind of both over the course of me playing Sun. I don't know. I think it's pretty marginal. Okay, so we are going first, which is not ideal into a new typically. But here I think we're just going to send a middling hand and try to force all the cards out of their hand so they don't get to filter. So we're looking to Arsenal 100 Wins so they have a Transcendent starter next turn. Then we can send 4, 2, 3, which isn't terrible. It's obviously not great, but I do think that not attacking when you can send 9 damage is probably not worth it. All right, we get some pretty good threats out of them. So we get a Surgical and a Persuasive. I'm kind of happy with this. And they have to give me one more card, assuming they don't want to take any damage. Okay, 2 Persuasives and a Surgical. I'm very happy with that exchange on turn 1. And we get 1 extra damage. It's pretty good. Does mean they do get to filter like 1 card, but is what it is. All right, we as Zen do not care about Double Trouble like at all. So most likely this is either going to be like Transcend or like Hiss and to go again on something. So I say that I don't think we care. Siren'S Call would probably be like the most unfortunate thing here just because we have Homage. Okay, it looks like they got the Pathful Travel, so they will be able to mask Recurring Nightmares us this turn, which I think is okay. What do we want to give them, if anything? Oh, they also had the Siren's Skull. It's nasty. Um, so they're gonna mask us. Question is, do we homage in response to block this? Because this is most likely going to get pumped up to 3. That might be right. And then they still get the card draw. Or they're pitching the cheese, so they're not going to mask us. Okay, it's definitely interesting. I guess we let them have it. Huh. I'm curious as to why not mask there, but I guess Siren's Skull is stronger. There's some consideration to like playing it there just to like get an extra block out in front of this double trouble, but we don't really care about the banish so much. It's more so just like soaking up the damage. Alright. We will take 6 here, which is fine, and they do have go again. Banishing a Sink Bullet and a Tiger Eye is a little bit annoying. So our 2 pretty good cards in this matchup. Okay, and then they're attacking with Scale Peeler, which again, we don't really care about. Alright, and Mistblade. Is this a Codex, potentially? Do they have anything? Okay, they're just passing. Sure. So here, what do we want to do? We can obviously do Underwind's CNC Arsenal Tiger Eye. It's probably not bad. They haven't seen any Leave Nose or Codexes yet. Yeah, I think I like that. Should strip 2 cards out of their hand. Again, Siren's Skull is a little bit unfortunate there. Kind of took a lot of value out of us, but we'll see if we can make it back. Tiger Eye Reflex is pretty good in Arsenal, especially since we haven't seen any Leave Nose or CNC yet, so it can potentially stuff their whole turn of disruption. Alright, CNC is getting good value here as well. Alright, find a weakest link. Okay, so we do get to stuff their CNC. The only problem is now we have a Transcend card in hand. So how important is it to keep it onto this Transcend? It basically lets us develop out a full card if we pitch it. So we're definitely blocking with Tiger Eye. The question is, are we blocking with anything else like the CNC or the weakest link? I think weakest link is generally stronger against them. I've only seen 1 cheese so far. They're still sitting on that Arsenal though. We could just keep both and then Arsenal the other one. Kind of okay with that. Alright, so now we'll do Tiger Swipe and get our 5 damage in. And then I think we're sending Weakest Link. Again, we're not going to be able to use the card that we draw off of it, but I think it's fine to just hold on to the CNC. I'm assuming that Weakest Link is almost never hitting. It just mainly is forcing 2 cards out of their hands so they can't like disrupt us. Although CNC is more like guaranteed, I guess. It's kind of interesting. They're also blocking 5 here with equipment. What does that mean? Which is more impactful between CNC and Weakest Link? Because if they're setting up for like a Bonds of Agony turn, that most likely means they have like a Venomous, or one of Venomous and Hiss, or like Rousing Whip plus something. So maybe it's actually higher value to disrupt their arsenal. I guess the other pro of playing CNC is that we don't know that they're going to have an arsenal next turn. So like we're getting kind of guaranteed disruption now, whereas this is more like whenever. All right, so we get a CNC out of them, which I think I'm pretty happy with. We get to Arsenal or Weakest Link. All right, Find a React, which is also quite solid. This feels like a levels. But I don't think we use Pouncing Paws to prevent like... I always like think about preventing levels, but I don't actually think it's correct to like block Pouncing Paws to deny like a theoretical levels. Okay, it's a Bonds of Agony. So this is potentially fine. Kind of want to block with Windchalker here. And then if they react, so they do have Tunic on 3. If they have Venomous, what does that mean? They can pump on board, they can pump to 6. And then if they have like a Venomous in hand, they pump a lot more. I guess it's fine. We just block 3 here, sink, and then if they pump over, they pump over. They probably take our like CNC or something. It's bad though. Yeah, we do just block 6 here. If they mask us, it feels really bad, but what are you gonna do? The problem with this is more so like if they are able to push over Bonds of Agony and they leave us with a CNC in hand, then we're basically just IPing ourselves. Okay, looks like we do get some good armor out of them at least. So we are going to be able to cover this exchange with Sink Below. Then they have one other card in hand. Do we know what that is? I don't think so. Unless I have not been paying attention. Yeah, they use the Fang Strike. Okay, so we don't know what this card is. But we will just get to send a Weakest Link this turn. So we're chaining together a lot of Disruption, which is kind of okay. Still need to Transcend really badly. Yeah, hopefully we can catch him with like a Codex and 2 in hand, so the block on this is a little bit awkward, but not super hopeful that this is going to connect. Although they are pausing a little bit, so maybe it's a little bit better than I think it is. Alright, so we get a Just Nick and a CNC, so that is 2 CNCs out of the way. It's pretty important to keep track of threats in this matchup. Alright, we find a snag, so double transcending. Potentially annoying. But we'll see. They only have a Windchalker and Banish right now. Oh, we did catch him with 2 Transcend cards in here, which is kind of funny. So this feels like it's going to be a mask. I don't think we care. Yeah, so we mask. I think we're fine to give them the 100 wins. It feels a little bit bad because they're going to be able to play it out of Banish eventually. But maybe that's okay. I don't want to give them Snag because I think we want to hold on to Snag or pitch it for later. And then I think our plan is to like pitch Snag to Kakara so that they see the Snag and they play around it a little bit, and then Arsenal or Flick Flock. To me, seems best. Yeah, and they had a pretty low value turn. Well, it's like a 3 damage turn kind of because they basically took a 2 block out of our hands. It's like a 4 damage, I guess, like 2 card 4 damage turn. It's not terrible. Again, we're still not developing a ton of momentum here. Mainly because we've just been seeing Disruption or Reacts. I'm not actually sure if you want Weakest Link a ton into new. I've been a little bit back and forth on it. Alright, if we're able to keep the next hand, we are able to Transcend, but again, keeping hands against new is a little bit of a uphill battle. We did pitch away, so we got 1 Transcend card banished. We pitched away the Stir the Pot, so we have these 2, we have 5 other Transcend cards in deck. Alright, we say no blocks on the Scale Peeler. Again, we have a React in Arsenal, so we're good to cover anything. We don't need to use armor this turn, obviously. Alright, Double Trouble is generally not a threat that I really care about, so I'm fine to let this hit. Again, deck damage is not like real damage. If they want to like banish 2 cards from the top of my deck, that's a lot less impactful than like banishing 2 cards from my hand. Okay, they find the Siren'S Call again, which these are lining up very, very well for them, but not much we can do. I hate this card. I've mentioned this to many of my friends, but this card is like terrible. Not in terms of like, it's obviously a very, very good card, but I don't know. The design of the card is fascinating. Oh, that's what that card in hand was. It was the Slither. Right. Okay, so we knew about the Slither. I was okay. They hissed. Yeah. I forgot about this. Okay, so we know that that card in Arsenal was a Slither. I guess it doesn't really change our play all that much though. We haven't seen a Leave No yet. There's a CNC. This is unfortunate. So we can either give up on the react or we can transcend. I think we do just gotta cover this and hold on to our react. Kind of sucks, but is what it is. I don't want to lose out on a ton of value by just getting our arsenal blown out and then us being able to transcend. It's been kind of unfortunate that the Siren'S calls have been lining up on the turns we just have transcend cards, but again, there's not a whole lot you can deal with that. I like to play this matchup pretty patiently. Okay, still need this transcend card to do something eventually. This hand's not. It's kind of bad. It's pretty bad. We need another blue to really kind of turn this hand on. Looks like they might have a transcend, sure. So the funny thing is they can't really pitch this to mask if they want the modes on levels. Unless they're activating new. So one thing I think they might have wanted to do here is they might have wanted to like, I'm not sure why they're doing this now, but I guess it kind of makes, like, I think they were maybe thinking that they could like react to it. But okay, so it looks like we're getting masked again this turn, which is unfortunate. But again, not much we can do. So we'll get rid of our spinning wheel kick, and then I think we're just fine to let this go. They have a CNC, or they have a Codex. It's obviously a little bit unfortunate, but they still don't have Leave No yet. Again, I think we're just priced into holding on to this react for dear life. Okay, there's the Leave No, so now we get to cover with the Flick Block, so I'm glad I kept holding on to it. Yep, so go ahead and cover. And I think we're just going to send out Malinki for 5. And then we get to Arsenal or Rising Sun, play around Codex, and then if we draw another Transcend card, it's actually really good, because if we go for like an Arsenal Disruption with Leave No, we could like Rising Sun, drop in the ocean or something, and get some pretty good value there. Okay, get a block out of them, which is good for us. Keeping on a 3-card hand is obviously very good. And we're still just playing the patient game, Arsenal or Rising Sun. We've seen all 3 CNCs, right? We 2 Leave No Witnesses we have left to deal with, and then we have 1 Persuasive, 2 Surgicals left in terms of threats. Oh, we love to see a buff power. Okay, this is fantastic for us. They could Stiletto Tunic, but if they do that into Leave No, or if they do that in Codex, I think we're fine with that. Because we can block with like Pouncing Paws and like a 3-block. Yeah, so we say no blocks here. We have a really good hand next turn. It looks like they don't have any reacts. Sure. All right, so we finally get to Transcend. We're starting with Harmony, obviously. We have another blue in hand, so this hand's really good. We banished the Sink Below, typical. So that's the last Sink Below, and then we have 2 more Flick Blocks left in the deck, and then 1 Wax On. Okay, but we will Rising Sun, so it's not the end of the world. Let's. I guess it doesn't really matter because you're probably pitching the blues either way. Gain a resource, and then I guess I'll just conceal as much information as possible. So we'll start with Kakara. And we'll activate Zen. And we can get like a Mauling Key. Do we want to play out this Pouncing Key, I think is the question. We haven't seen a single Codex yet. So I feel like holding on to something in Arsenal is pretty high value. So I think we do want to just put the Pouncing Key in Arsenal. Like, we're losing out on potentially 5-ish damage, but it's really more like 4 if you count the missing damage from the Mauling Key. Because we'd have to play the Tiger, then play Pouncing Key, then no Tiger afterwards. I think we still just want to play safe and play around Codex, which we have not seen a single copy of yet. And we still have our entire fridge. We finally transcended. So this is turn 8. We finally transcended. But you have our Traverse and Pouncing Paws up. We do need to be a little bit more concerned about Scale Peeler at this point in the game. All right, looks like they have a Sink Below as well. So that's fine. We still get 3 over, get them down to 12. So we still have 7 points of armor, so we're effectively at 18. They have 3 points of armor, so effectively at 15. So the game's still pretty close. Okay, this is a hand that can definitely do something, but we're going to need a little bit of help here. And I think we need to take the chance that they don't have Siren's Call at some point. I think this is probably going to be an opportunity where we block with Kasaya here. Because I don't want to block with Traverse yet, because then that means they can snipe the Chi out of our hand. So I think we're going to actually give up Kasaya, and then we hold on to 5 block and armor, because I think this is the turn that can definitely, like... This is the hand that can definitely, like, go, right? So I think giving up Kasaya makes sense over Traverse in case they have the Siren's Call. They're closing the chain, though, which is fine. Alright, Bonds of Agony. Definitely annoying. So they have Stiletto, so they can pump to 4. How many Siren's Calls and Hisses are we seeing? So it's potentially a Venomous. Definitely a little bit unfortunate here. We could definitely get blown out if they're able to pump all the way over. But then they just take a blue or a Chi, and then we're able to still turn on use our Pouncing Paws to, like, turn on the hand. Oh, so maybe this is the case where we're actually just supposed to, like, give armor and then hope that it's just, like... Hope it's just a Transcend card. They've seen Grain, and then they've seen Rising Sun, and then one other Transcend card, so you've seen 3. And I think most news run about 7. So 4 Transcend cards versus about 3 reacts. It's about the same. Yeah, if they take the Chi, it's not the end of the world, because we do just naturally draw into Chase Tail Aspect. They take the Chi out of our deck, which is fine. It's more so the damage we're worried about a little bit, but I think we're just going to have to live with this. All right, so they pop Stilettos. Again, they're most likely going to be able to force this over. All right, Tunic into Hiss. Yep. So there's not really a way we can... Well, we could have blocked 7, I guess, with, like, Breed Anger. We still don't know, like, what their hand was necessarily. Maybe that was right, though. Maybe we give up Shuko and then one other card. But if it's Venomous, I don't know. It always feels bad to block this card. I was trying to play more so around just them masking than anything. I think the Chase, that's... Okay, that's actually smarter than taking the blue. Because now we can't do Chase Aspect, obviously. Right, then there's a Leave No. So they have a Slither in hand, right? Yeah, they have a Slither. So now we can block with Breed Anger and Shuko. Definitely a rough situation. Okay, did they want to play something else? Let's see. Okay. So let's activate it and see what we still have left in the deck, because I'm not actually sure. So we have a Mauling Key left. We have a Breed Anger left. I guess it's just Mauling. Sure. So we'll go ahead and Kakara Tiger Pouncing Key, Aspect Tiger Body, Mauling Key. Could also save this Tiger in Arsenal if we want to play around your other codexes. Which I assume we still have, right? So maybe we actually pop Pouncing Paws here. Yeah, they definitely had some really good stuff lined up this game. Not sure about the weakest links. They feel like okay just to strip 2 cards out of their hand, but it doesn't really get us ahead. I feel like the reacts are generally a little bit more impactful. We are going to be able to threaten lethal here, though, so they'll have to give us two. No, they have to give us 1 card in addition to their armor, I think. Or no, they give us. Yeah, they have to give us 1 card in addition to armor. So then we'll attack with the Banished Tiger and the Mauling. They can't just give us armor. They need to give us a real card. So that's at least good for us. We also still have a couple of threats left in the deck. Like we still have that Snag, and then we also have 2 Flick Flacks, I think. Or do we have 1 Flick Flack? Let me check. And we still have 2 Flicks. Alright, so Mask needs to be paired with 1 other card, and it can't be Tunic. I think we played this game kind of correctly. Again, there might have been an opportunity where we could maybe block out that Bonds of Agony. Maybe we should throw Shuko and 1 other card in front of it, but then they just leave no us. Which kind of strips our hand anyways. Okay, Sigil. So it's kind of like blocking with a card. Going to 1. Do find a Waxon though, which is potentially quite solid. Not against Surgical necessarily though. I don't know how much there is we can do about this, assuming that this is probably one of the 2 Venomouses. We can block 5 here, and then we can push over the Waxon, and we present 2 and 1 next turn. Maybe that's correct. We block with these 2, and then if they push over, we Waxon. Okay, so there's the Venomous. So we're blocking 5, and then they pump an additional 1, which we can then cover with the Waxon. And then I think we're just going to use this to threaten Kakara plus Tiger. So you have to give us a real card here, and then they could give us Tunic with the Tiger. We don't even necessarily need to play Tiger, though. We could just leave this in Arsenal to play around Codex, which they still haven't had any of. I've also not seen them in pitch. Interesting. I feel like I've been seeing a lot more lists on Talishar that are not running Codex. I don't know if that's like a budget thing. So Tunic is not going to be up next turn, so we're not even stripping a mana out of them. So I think we're fine to just sit on Tiger. Because all it does is really just force Tunic, which is not going to be live for another turn. Right, pitching levels. We've seen 1 levels already. So how likely is this to be another levels? Semi-likely? I don't think it kills us, though, because we're able to Flick Black, then wins the cover. Alright, so this is just a leave no. So what happens if we block 6, and then if they pump, we can Flick Black. Or alternatively, we just Flick Black, they eat the Tiger out of Arsenal, and then what? I feel like block 6 makes the most amount of sense. They're still sitting on that Slither, right? Yeah, I think they are. Wait, actually, so maybe Flick Flack makes the most amount of sense because they Slither Codex. And we block with Winds of Eternity. Okay, they had the Venomous. That's potentially fine. So they pump to 8 and cover with Flick. Are they not sitting on Slither? Again, my memory is fucking terrible. We'll go ahead and get Kara into Winds of Eternity, and we'll still strip 2 cards out of them. But now we're not getting Tunic. Okay, they're just looking for scrap. Alright, this is maybe a game where I misplayed just due to my taking a nap before this game. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. So you do have to give us 1 more card here. And then how many reacts do we have left in the deck? We have just the one Flick Flack, I think. This could definitely be dicey. Alright, they cover with their own react. That's fine. What is our banish looking like? We have one blue Hunter Winds and a Grain. And a Wind Chakra, I guess. Huh. I'm wondering if actually playing out the Ancestral Harmony was maybe like key to victory there. It's entirely possible. Still haven't seen levels out of them. Alright, scale peel. I don't think that. Have they played Granite to scale yet? Maybe we do just die to that. Guess we are priced into blocking at some point this turn, though. I wonder where their codexes are, if anywhere. Right, there's levels. So I'm assuming this is like a 5 pump. So pumping 5, and then we have to give 2 cards here. Yeah, I definitely misplayed some point this game. Yeah, we lost too much tempo, I think. Definitely felt pretty close, though. I feel like maybe playing out the Ancestral Army was actually the key to victory there, because we would have technically hit a Breed Anger off the top. I was really keeping track of combo count. I just figured it would be so low that it wouldn't actually matter to play that card, but maybe it did. Alright, we do get Codex and a Tunic, though. It's not bad. So that makes me believe that they're sitting on another Codex. It's probably not good for us. You still have the one Flick somewhere, though. Okay, this is where all our Transcend cards were, apparently. This could be good if they go for a big pump, but they only really have... They only really have... What left? They don't even have Hiss or Venomous left. So what is this? Are they sitting on Slytherin Arsenal? I think they are. Well, I mean, not much we can do. I guess we'll say no blocks. Oh, they do have Justin X. I haven't really been keeping track of those. So they are sitting on a Slither. Okay, I didn't know that. So they snag. Sure. So now, or no, sorry. So they Justin X, we snag, and then we drop. But we still can't block a Codex, which I assume they have if they blocked with it last turn. Yeah, I don't think this actually wins us the game, unfortunately. It is really cool, though. A Passover, which means they can play out 100 Winds and a Grain, which also kills us. Or I guess they can play out another blue 100 Winds and then that kills us, yeah. Oh, this is a close game. I think I definitely misplay at some point along here. Okay, so again, Winds of Eternity, yeah, that also kills us. Yeah, unfortunately our hand does not block incredibly well. That's how it goes sometimes, though. Again, I think our opponent played pretty well. The Bonds of Agony, the 2 Bonds of Agony turns before this were quite rough. Maybe the correct block was 8 on that second Bonds of Agony. Now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, they get us here. Oh, Underwood's his last attack in this combat chain. Why is this not getting buffed? Interesting. Shouldn't they get buffed? Oh well. Good game. All right, let's see if we can get another one. All right, looks like we got a new. So now we have a chance to see if we can do a little bit better this time. So I think I'm actually convinced myself to maybe board out the 100 wins. Just because my logic being is we already have cards. So we have red 100 wins, which means we're more likely to get hit by Bonds of Agony. And these also synergize with our Ancestral Harmonies as well as our Winds of Eternity. So I feel like these might be slightly worse for us if they get banished by new. All right, we do hit the turn 1 Transcend, which is quite strong, and we also have a Sink Below. So this is a lot better start for us than last game. All right, we do see a Rowdy Local, so let's start with Rising Sun Pathful Travel. So we get 2 Chi already in our deck. We'll gain a resource, and then we'll Transcend, see if we can find something a little bit better. I think Spinning Wheel Kick is better than a Chi, especially when we have Float. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. And then card's still coming up for 2. I guess we'll just get another 1 cost or something. We do want to make it as annoying to block as possible in turn 1. So maybe we just go with the Breed Anger here. I think that's reasonable. And then we get to Arsenal Sink Below, which is quite strong. In general, against new, I do like to go second, so it's a little bit unfortunate that we've been losing the die roll, but it's what it is. I don't think it's pretty bad to like not go second, but it's not like unwinnable. All right, we do get a Siren's Call out of the way. It's a very good threat, and I fucking hate this card. Definitely one of the cards. All right, we're leaking 3 damage on turn 1, and then this is also threatening another leak of 1 damage, assuming that they don't want to double block. All right, so they do keep 1 card in hand. But we do get to Sink Below in Arsenal, which sets us pretty far ahead, at least initially. Find another Sink Below, which is not terrible. All right, they have a Bonds of Agony. So you can cover with double Sink. They have also not really used equipment. So what is this? Is this a Venomous Bite, or is this just a mask? I guess is my question. If it's just a mask, what do we do? I don't really want to give him a Wind Chakra. Maybe we'll just give him... Maybe we do just give him a Wind Chakra. Yeah, it's fine. Or maybe we give him a Harmony. I think these are pretty similar, but maybe Harmony is just a little bit worse since we cut the blue 100 wins. All right, let's give them 1 card and see what they do. If they mask us, obviously it's whatever. All right, Sigil is fine, so maybe just looks like bait. Sure. Okay, bait Bonds of Agony is fine. So we'll start with Fighting Breeze here, I guess. And I think I'm kind of fine to IP myself with the double Sink Below against a new. It's obviously a little bit unfortunate if they decide to like go for a CNC, but I think it's probably worth. All right, so you get him back down to 37. Hold on another card in hand. Not terrible. We're kind of hoping that they go for like a Leave No or something. That'd be ideal. All right, string with the Mistblade, which again we cannot deal with, so that's fine. We could get a little cute here and sink our blue, but then we're wasting a Sink Below, so I think it's fine if they just take the Fighting Breeze here. Siren's Call is a lot more fair when the card actually has like a block value. When it doesn't have a block value, it's just like so gross. Like, I think this kind of counts as like a whiff almost on Siren's Call, just because you're not actually getting like a card that like you're spending a card to get a card basically. It's at least like even on valid. Well, no, because you're also. I think it's technically still above valid. I guess it's not technically a whiff if you ever hit a blow, right? Because you're discarding a card and then you're always drawing a card, so it's always plus one card value basically. Nasty card. I guess you're also forcing the block, so you're it's kind of like even on value, I guess. I don't know. All right, Eradicate we generally don't care about, but we are kind of stuck on 2 Sync Belows, so we might end up reacting this just to kind of save a little bit of deck size and damage. But again, I don't think we really do anything into this right this second. Okay, so they have a Venomous, so they're probably going to be able to banish a bit of our deck, but I think holding on to Sync Below is better than holding on to 4 cards in deck. Is that true? We could just try to dig for something a little bit better and then send the Sync Below. I don't hate that, honestly. Well, if we sunk the aspect and see if we find anything a little bit better, and then maybe we Sync Below as well. I've got to talk myself into Sync just because it's kind of clean and also gives us a little bit more time in the game, I guess. And our hand's nothing to like write home about, so maybe just fishing for something a little bit better is fine. So here we'll just send 100 wins, and I think we're fine. And then we Arsenal Harmony. I think we're chilling. Again, it might come back to bite us if we need that sync at some point. But we'll see. All right, looks like they have their own sync, so that's okay. We'll see if I come to regret that, because like the 4 deck kind of matters, and the 4 damage is obviously like semi-relevant. I guess not in this point in the game though. Okay, Surgical Extraction coming in. Very interesting. Is this Transcend or is this something more painful? Kind of like blocking with Harmony and Pouncing Paws, and then if they want to force something over with Tunic, you were fine with that. You could also like Tunic or Rousing Wave, but then they use up their Rousing Wave, so maybe that's okay as well. I feel like they're on something better than that though. So maybe we'll just go ahead and give 2 cards here. If they Transcend, then we just give them 100 wins, and then we still get to Harmony plus Stir the Pot. Although they should maybe just Rousing Wave this. But at least we get it out of the way now. Alright, any further reactions? No. Okay, so I guess we will just flick this. There's not really a way to like bait them into doing this without like face up telling them that we have a flick. Alright, we'll start with Harmony, see what we hit. Hit Passover, which is not ideal banish fodder for new. We'll go ahead and stir the pot though, and then shuffle our chi that we put at the bottom, gain a resource, and then I think we want to hold on to our Tiger just for Arsenal against like Codex. They don't really have like graveyard set up yet though. Still just good practice to probably hold on to the Tiger though. So maybe here we'll go ahead and just get like a Mullen Key. It's in like 4, 6. It's not bad. Alright, they cover with Fate. That's fine. They keep holding on to 3 cards. Not leaking a lot of damage here. It seems like a very defensive version of new, especially with the sigils and the Fate for scenes. Arsenal are crouching. Oh, are they on just red and yellow CYB? That's fascinating. Interesting. Huh. Okay, I'm kind of fine with that. Alright, so let's go ahead and Kakara. And we get full chase aspect line, and then we still get the Arsenal spinning wheel kick. I hope the ban is appropriately coded into the rules of Talishar. That kind of makes a little bit more sense with like the sigils and the more defensive game plan. Alright, blocking with a CNC maybe suggests that they have another form of Arsenal disruption. We're just gonna let it rip this turn. Get some really good damage on them, even though they did develop out of Count Your Blessings. And I guess this is why we're still holding on to. I've actually never played into just the 6 CYB version of New, so we'll see if it's any different. All right, they do have a leave note here, which is a little bit unfortunate. They're probably going to be able to just take the spinning regardless. So I don't know if we actually want to commit anything to this. I think we kind of just should let them have the spinning. We're so far ahead on life, I don't think it really matters. Yeah, I'm fine to let the leave no hit. So we will pass reacts. And then I think we will... Do we want to do these two now? Maybe? Maybe it's fine to do these two now. On our turn, we could have done it on like the Kakara, but I think it's relatively the same. Us banishing our Passover is also a little bit unfortunate against CYB, but is what it is. So here, I think we're just going to get one cost and then Arsenal or Wind Chakra. Them being on CYB also makes me a lot less inclined to like play into their reactions. So look at our Mauling here versus Breed Anger, which is better. I guess Breed Anger for the Shuko procs is a little bit better. And then we also get like Pouncing Key. Well, we wouldn't get the Mauling Key value if we did it this way, so I guess we get Breed Anger. Just so the breakpoints are a little bit more annoying. We are also developing out 2 Chi in deck, which I think is quite strong. Alright, they have a blue pick to pieces in hand. That's good information. We do need to be a little bit worried about deck size, so I'm kind of glad I actually blocked that Eradicate. Is that what the card's called? Yeah, Eradicate. So it does mean we're going to have a little bit of a longer game, and I think the longer game does favor us, especially since we're on our Cosmics. All right, and we get to set a nice little Wind Chakra in Arsenal just to play around Codex. So it's probably going to be a little bit of a hindrance here. But I guess we just still block the CNC anyways. And then we can save a 2-card 7. It's fine. If Tunic. Is this like Gorgon's Gaze? No, CYB. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so we have a local who's like tormented us with Gorgon's Gaze. Shout out to Thor if you're watching, but he's one of the... He's actually a really good new player, so I've kind of trusted his judgment. But I still think the card fucking sucks. It would have been really good there, though, obviously. All right. Get a nice little 2-card 7. I'm glad they used the Sync Blow on the Kakara as opposed to this. Unless they have another React, obviously. But if they have another React, they're not disrupting us, so I think that's probably good for us. Yeah, sure. If they want to keep 2-card hands, like... I'm not as scared of 2-card hands against New as I am of, like, 5-card hands from New, because then you're basically just playing around, like, nothing at that point. Like, you can't play around a 5-card hand from New, ever. Alright, Finding a Chi is decent if they don't Siren'S call us, but they have seen 2 of them already. Okay, just a CYB is perfect. Again, I think this is exactly what we want. So they are on 4. There are up to 4 already, so they have 2 yellows left. So that's how much life? That's 5 plus 6. Am I counting that correctly? No. It's 6 plus 7, so 13 life total. All right, we'll go ahead and activate Zen. I think we will just get another chase. We're running a little bit thin on combo cards, but I think it's fine. And then, do we want to play out this Wind Chakra to Arsenal spinning? Maybe. Maybe that's fine. Or we could just send spinning. I guess it's kind of like the same because we're getting 3 value out of this anyways. So yeah, I guess we might as well do this first. And then we'll pitch this, and then our plan is to Arsenal spinning wheel kick. I'm putting the buff on this because the buff on the later one, or I guess there is not really a way to put a buff on the later one, is there? Yeah. I guess it's fine to send 2 damage versus like sending 5 damage, I think, would be the end tiger. Alright, last Siren's Call out of the way. I'm very, very happy with that. And again, this is what our cosmic backup plan is for against new. Alright, 1 card hand, we have spinning wheel kick and Arsenal. Things are looking good. Alright, and it looks like they're not going to do anything. So again, we get another basically free turn. So we'll spinning, aspect, weakest link, and then we can Arsenal like CNC if we want. Or we can also send CNC. We still have 2 CYBs left. Which is better? I guess I'll threaten them with the tiger. I don't know why this would ever matter, but. And then weakest link versus CNC. I'm kind of in the mood for CNC. I don't know why. I feel like it might be slightly better. I don't know. Okay, this is kind of a mediocre hand, but we'll make the best of it. So we can do 2 into weakest link and then Arsenal a Tiger Eye if we want. It's not bad. Or alternatives. No, I think that's probably just the best. We'll pitch away our chase and our CNC, and then use one of our Tiger Eyes to send a weakest link at them. Which might just end up forcing out a CYB, but is what it is. Alright, we get 2 blocks out of them, so maybe they're holding on to like Chi or something. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then we'll get to Arsenal or Tiger Eye Reflex. So they pitch a grain here. What does that mean? They have no Siren's Call left, so it's very unlikely that they're going to be able to strip this out of our hand. What if we block 5 here, and then we can basically get Chase the Tail because we'll have the extra Tiger from Tiger Eye Reflex? We still have 1 left on the deck, right? Yep, we still have 1. So I think that might be the play. And then if they don't want to push over, we can either use the Wax On to sink below, or we can just banish one of them if they mask. But I think I'm okay with this. Could have also saved Traverse for like Cosmic, but I don't know how necessary that is. Alright, they Stiletto. So this might be a Codex. Maybe. We'll see. So I didn't really play around Codex. Yeah. Okay, I'm wondering if there's something maybe better here. So they get a leave no. We can get. Can we do triple Chase the Tail? Or we can. Or we can do double Chase the Tail, right? Yeah. So we do that. We discard our Sink or our weakest link. Which one? Probably our Sink? No, it's gotta be. I don't know if it matters. Because I think we're pitching this anyways. So I guess we're discarding Sink. We Wax On. And then I think we're just using this weakest link for pitch. So we'll say no blocks, we'll wax this on. Maybe we should have saved Traverse for a better opportunity. I'm not sure. So here we can activate Zen, get her Chase the Tail, and then we can do 2, 1, 4, 1, 4, or however much the Chase the Tails add. So we'll start. Well, I guess the Kakara is only dealing 2, but I guess it's fine. So we'll start with pitching the Homage, I guess. This is a pretty high damage turn, but I think their end game here is decking us. See how this goes. I don't know if we're actually even supposed to give a Pouncing Boss there. Maybe saving it for Cosmic was the right play and not playing the Ambush at Arsenal. I feel like there are definitely a couple different decision points there. We still have 2 CYBs left to worry about. We get them to 14. They do have 3 cards in hand, though, and Tunic up, so it's definitely a little bit scary. Alright, we do have Snag, though. So that's good for us. Do we block with Kasaya here? And then what are we putting back with Preserve? Is it Chase, or is it something better? So I think we block with Kasaya. We force a react out of them, which it could also just be no reacts, and then we get to hold on to the snag. This could just be holding on to a CYB. So block with Kasaya, see what they do. It's pretty unlikely that they have like a pump here, so maybe it's just Homage and then Transcend. So this is still a good block from us. I guess at this point we now just arse, or we get rid of Snag. How many reacts have we seen? We've seen 2, 1, 2. So they still could have a potential react here. It's kind of an interesting decision point, whether or not we want to hold on to the snag. It would have to be something. What if we get rid of Pouncing Key, and then we hold on to these 2, and then we keep Snag for Rainy Day? I think that's correct. Because they still could have another Reactive Tunic here. Definitely getting a little bit concerned about our card count. See if they want to block the Biting Breeze, though. Okay, we do get another Chase the Tail. So we can now preserve, putting Chase back in the deck. So you do get 4 Chase the Tails this game, and then I think we are just pitching the Snag to Kakara. Could obviously sit on it for Codex insulation, but I think getting the damage in now is probably worth it. And then we'll get that Chase the Tail that's at the bottom. So we still have like 11 life we have to worry about. Or no, it's still 13 life, right? Yeah, it's still 13 life we gotta worry about. Which is a lot less bad than it was before, I guess. We still do have our Cosmic game plan. We do still have to worry about the Mask of Recurring Nightmares, though. Alright, there's one of the CYBs that go up another 6, and then there's Codex. So, what do we want to get here? I don't know if it's Chase the Tail again. I don't think it is, because we don't really have a way to make another Tiger. We can get like a Weakest Link. And it's pretty likely like snipes a Chi or something out of their hand. Then we block 6. That maybe seems most reasonable, because I do want to hold on to Shuko a little bit. I feel like we might be getting fatigued, though. Let's get our Weakest Link. We also should have maybe made a Tiger in response to this, because I don't know if I'm supposed to discard this Chi. I guess I'll discard the Winds. They use Tunic, and they get CNC. We now double block with 2 cards. We send Weakest Link on our turn, hopefully forces out a Chi of their hand, or like a CYB or something. We still do have our Cosmics left. I don't think we've seen either one of them, right? I think we may pitch one at the very beginning of the game. Okay, it seems like they do maybe have a no block in hand. All right, we have one more Codex we have to dodge. Bonds of Attraction, I don't think is one we care about. Sand's not doing a ton, though. Are we fine to let this vanish off the top? I think we are. All right, they get Tiger Swipe, that's not the end of the world. And they can get Breed Anger, sure. So they Sigil, sure. That's fine. All right, so how many sigils actually do they have left? They have one. They have one more sigil left. So they have 3 plus 7. So they have 10 more life effectively. Okay, so let's get a blue to Sacred Art. No, does that make sense? No, I don't think it does, right? So blue Sacred Art. No, that doesn't. I don't think that works. Let's see what we got left in the deck at least. We got Breed Anger. We got Kakara. We can potentially Arsenal the Sacred Art. Is that worth it? Could also get Pouncing Key and send a ton of damage, but it also doesn't seem like crazy worth it to me. Maybe it's just Breed. And then we'll pitch our Cosmic so we can at least like play Sacred Art next turn, maybe is the logic. How many Codexes do we have left? We have 1 Codex left. And then how many Leave No's do we have left? We have 1, 2, 3. We have no Leave No's. We have how many CNCs? We have 1, 2. I'm only seeing 2 CNCs. Oh no, there's a 3rd CNC. So we don't have any CNCs left either. So our arsenal is semi-safe except from Codex. But they don't have Tunic up either. It's an interesting game. This is not as like toxic, I think, as 9 CYB new. How many Siren Skulls? We've seen all the Siren Skulls as well. I'm trying to think what cards they have left in their deck. Okay, interesting. Bonds of Attraction, I think, is fine again. I don't think we block this, other than maybe like Flick Black if they pump it. Sure. That's fine. I don't think we even cover this, right? They hit a Chi and they hit a Pouncing Key. Wind Chakra, pass over Ancestral Harmony. They banish another Ancestral Harmony. Okay, they still don't have a super crazy graveyard or anything. So let's go ahead. So we want to CNC out ideally, obviously. Maybe we should use Flick Flack there because then we can put Sacred Art in Arsenal. Maybe that was the play. This is hard. Although maybe we just want to save this in the deck. We can pitch this to Kara. Oh, we don't have a 1 cost. I guess that's still fine. We'll get Tiger Swipe here, and then we'll pitch Chi again. And we can still pitch another Chi to do that. I think it's still good for us. We still have the 1 CYB and the 1 Sigil left to deal with. I think we're still doing fine. It's definitely good to know that a 6 CYB deck is still something people are considering. And we'll go ahead and CNC. Looks like they don't have an instant to play around this. So that's at least good for me. All right, we still got our Cosmics in a dream. Pass is fine. We'll keep activating Zen. And I think we only have 0 costs left, right? So let's go ahead and get... Do we want red 100 wins just to get it out of the deck? Or do we want blue Pouncing Key just to hit a Shuko proc? I think they're about the same, right? So I guess we'll start with pitching the Chi to Kakara. Shuko. Do that. They are pretty slim on cards. All right, we get another block out of them. That's good. So their deck is one CYB, one Sigil, and then I guess levels and persuasive prognosis, and then like one or two chi. Huh. Unless they like trimmed on some amount of stuff. Interesting. What the fuck does this hand do? Okay. Actually, okay, so we played this. This is fine with most of our cards except like Tiger Swipe. So we can actually use this Transcend if we want, which is kind of funny. I don't think I've ever done that. Sure. It's so funny. Okay. So yeah, that's fine. Then we use cheaper pitch. We just keep on thinning our deck. We'll get, I guess, another pouncing key is probably okay. And then we'll do 2, 1, 3. Hold on to the Cosmic in hand, I guess. They're getting pretty low on cards. All right, there's Path and Grain. So they have 2 chi in their hands, which they're probably going to be using to like mask or something. They banish the top, which is a chi. It's fine. All right, they're double newing. Okay. This looks like they're just trying to run us out of cards. All right, another chi. Sure. Tiger, pouncing key, sends some damage. Are the other 2 cards in hand also chi? It's entirely possible. Because I think that makes sense why they would do it this turn as opposed to next turn. We do have like Flick Black and we're still at 30, so I guess we're not really that concerned about that. Alright, there's last CYB. And then there's Codex, which we have the Flick Flack for, but again, this is probably CNC, so maybe not ideal. But I guess we just let them hit it, and then we deal. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really a strong reason to keep holding on to this Flick Flack, especially when their deck, they have 3 chi in their hand next turn. I think we're good, potentially. So we'll start with, I think we want to Arsenal this, right? So that means we tutor off Zen now. They could new in response. I don't think that's what they're going to do. They maybe should have newed in response to me tutoring, because then they could snipe the last card in my deck. Alright, they did Cosmic, which is a little bit annoying, but whatever. We get 2, 1, 4, 5, or 2, 1, 3, 5. Should basically, or no, sorry, this is 1. So we get them down to 1. So I don't know what their last card is. Their last card is the Sigil, or do they play that? I think they have a Sigil left, and that's the only card, if I'm not mistaken. And then we send 5, or yeah, this is 5, right? So if their hand is Sigil, oh no, it's Bonds of Agony. So maybe they're only on 2 Sigil? Interesting. They also don't get to keep on the mask, which I think is good for us. And then I guess we just Arsenal Cosmic. Okay, we still don't get to cast the Cosmic, which is a little unfortunate, but whatever. Again, they're not going to kill us from 24. They can like pass over and do stuff, but again, I don't think that still works. Again, we don't really have anything to like tutor for, but they only have chi in hand at this point, right? So I guess we win. That was actually a little bit close for comfort. We are kind of almost out of deck. I do think we want to actually pay attention to how we're bottoming this turn, or I guess it doesn't really matter, because we still have 3 cards left in deck. Oh, we also could have used this chi to like get another Tiger, but I think this just kills, right? Oh, they whip off the top 2. Nice. All right. Oh, we got there. Okay, that was very tight, but I think we did pretty well. Again, the problem with new is you basically just give me free reign to kind of do whatever I want, and we have the cosmic backup plan. I think we still do want to cosmics against like slower decks like new because they can still be on CYB, and it is still kind of like annoying as you can kind of see there. But I think this game went a little bit better for us than the last one. I think the more disruptive new is probably a little bit better against them than this version, but they're both pretty scary. I'm wondering if they. So they are only on 2 sigil. It's interesting. Okay, maybe I just didn't miss it anywhere. Yeah, I think we could have played those games a little bit better, but I think it's good to just get some new practice in. Again, new is probably going to be one of the top decks in the upcoming format, so having a good cyber plan for her, I think, is well worth it, especially when it's one of our kind of poorer matchups. But yeah, back to the list. Again, we didn't really get to see Growlshine today. I think this is more a card for like Enigma or like more aggressive decks. Not really against new. But yeah, like I think fat decking a little bit against new is like also really solid. Yeah, but anyways, thank you all for watching. And again, those were kind of all the. Oh, I just also realized that my like face was below the camera. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.